Unpopular opinion. If she can't pick up a bike, it's too big for her. I think that is probably one of the biggest lies in motorcycling, because just about every bike I've owned, I haven't been able to pick it up right off the bat. But with some practice and some good technique, and eventually some working out, now I can pick up all the bikes I've ridden, including 900-pound baggers and 500-pound adventure bikes. So to share about some of these other unpopular opinions about biker chicks, I brought 2 other biker chicks in, also my editors for the past year and a half, Maria and Whitney.
I've been riding for about 12 years, and I don't think I've ever tried to pick up a bike.
Oh no?
No.
We could fix that.
And I'm a bit of a newer rider. I've been riding for 2 years, so I have some experience under my belt, but definitely bringing in the newbie rider experience.
First up, biker chicks are just a fashion statement.
Excuse me?
I see you going every day to the coffee shop in your biker gear to show off your.
Yeah, I don't even ride. I just take the pictures.
I honestly don't think there's anything wrong with enjoying showing off your skill set. And let's be real, biker dudes are taking their bikes out to get attention.
Yeah, show your bike.
Attention and get
Like
and
your
there's nothing
chopper,
wrong with
that's a
that.
display bike. You want to show it off to your friends and everybody.
You want your patches.
Yes.
You want to show people where you've been.
And I love that. I love that. But all of a sudden, if a woman does that, it's attention seeking and it's to be a fashion statement. Okay, how about this one, that biker chicks aren't real riders?
Ooh.
If you're on a bike, riding a bike, you're a biker.
I would say that a passenger is still a biker chick.
Oh, interesting.
You guys don't?
Likes bikes.
You guys don't?
No, I actually do think I agree with you. I've just
There's
never
different
thought
levels.
about that.
Yeah,
I've never thought about that.
There's different levels of biker
Yeah.
chicks. Like, we're not all Itchy Boots, and we're not all Jocelyn Snow. Some of us are
Yeah.
commuters. Some people are busy. You got a lot of work to do. You got kids. You only got so much time. Like,
I will say in Sturgis, I talked to so many women and I was like, you should ride your own bike. Just
yeah?
because I think, it's like your husband rides, maybe they're not into riding, but then they get the experience of it. And it does take some convincing, and maybe you just like not having to operate a machine, but it's like, I would like to see more ladies
Yeah.
with male passengers.
oh
Yes, please.
Really?
If you're on the back of the bike, you're still a part of the community. You're still experiencing the vibes and the people. And I started as a passenger princess.
It's so relaxing.
It
You can just
is.
sit back.
It's the nicest.
relax, enjoy.
I hated it.
Did you really?
I did too. I did too.
Absolutely hated it.
Next one. There are not girl bikes, and there are not bikes that are better for women or too big for women. Like some people say the Sportster is a girl bike, or a 900-pound Road Glide isn't for women because they're too big. I know where people are coming from. They're trying to say like women are on average smaller and have
more
less
anxious,
more anxious, less upper body strength than men. So how about instead of this is a girl bike or this is not a girl bike, this is a bike that may require more of a learning curve for you. That's it.
All right, here's a good one. Biker chicks exploit feminism for attention.
Oh.
I had some thoughts before we started writing this, and it was important for me to say my opinion out loud and then hear you guys and realize what was actually happening. It's like, as I've been on YouTube for a few years now, and it's like, I get some comments that are like, you need to wear more makeup. Why aren't you wearing enough makeup? Can I send you a dress to wear? Not kidding, that was a comment. Sometimes the comment section's like lifting up a big boulder and like,
Weird. I don't think I've gotten comments like that.
Ooh, I've got some
weird.
nasty ones that are not safe to say on this, that are really gross. But let your freak flag fly. I do not care. I'm a very pro-freedom sort of person. But it's like when I see women who are letting their jugs hang out or whatever, or just doing it just for attention, I'm like, man, that's cool, but it's altering my reality. There is a consequence to that. But then we were discussing how, well, it's not her fault, right? That it's people assuming that, okay, well, this person does that, so everybody must do that. And that's the wrong thinking.
Like sometimes I get comments like, I love your channel because you keep your clothes on. Or sometimes they'll word that in a way that's kind of insulting women who don't. But I just feel like it's not about one person wearing a bunch of gear, that doesn't make you better than someone who doesn't. Like, it's okay to still be accepting of other people's beliefs and other people's lifestyles, and like let people be who they want to be.
The most dangerous woman is a woman that challenges what the patriarchy wants us to be. And the catch with that is, it doesn't matter if you're fully clothed or if you're fully nude. It's never enough, right? Because on your channel, you're gonna show more skin. And on someone else's channel, she's gonna get, you're such
Cover
a
up.
slut.
You need to cover up.
There is no winning, it's all about control. So this is something that I'm curious to see what y'all think. As a newer writer, I definitely assumed that there would be a lot more unwanted attention on my bike. I thought I was gonna get more like maybe catcalling or just like sexualization from men out in public. But in the 2 to 4 years I've been writing, I have been pleasantly surprised that I haven't had that many encounters. So
You get like friendly encounters, like
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
bike. What is it? I do. Have y'all ever heard of pretty privilege? I think that's what this is like. Like getting a bike. Like I felt like I've gotten more attention from guys. Like maybe a post-it note, like, here's my number, I think you're cool,
Yes,
wanna hang out.
I've gotten that too.
But it has all been like appropriate. So like Meg's motorcycle journey, she told me that she gets a eggplant picture once a week. Every week. I've never gotten one, ever. So either I'm just not cute enough, thank goodness, or people understand that I want to keep the interactions friendly and like family friendly, and people honor that for the most part. The next controversial opinion is that we don't all look like Harley riders. We aren't all Harley riders. Whenever someone finds out that I ride that and they are not a rider themselves, they usually ask me 2 questions. Are you on a Harley and do you wear chaps? So
Why do they ask you if you wear chaps?
I think that's just the non-rider view of bikers is they don't know about adventure bikes or touring bikes. They think sport bike or cruiser, so they think it's one or the other.
Oh, okay.
And I think people just they don't think I'm on a sport bike,
bikes.
so they
Hyper-naked bikes.
They don't know about them. They don't know about them. If you're like out of it, yeah.
We gotta preach the gospel of the hyper-naked.
truth.
We've got to bring the light to the non-riders, let them know. and I think that also goes with the lifestyle. Like, we don't all want to be out clubbing, late, drinking, smoking. Like, some of us like to be in bed by 9 o'clock at night and also ride
every night.
400 miles that day.
Yeah, I think we're at an interesting point in evolving culture, right? Where suddenly the divergence, it's like, I like going on coffee shop rides with people, or I like going off-road. There's so many now, because of awareness and people aging, there's just a plethora now of different styles of riding.
I feel like in motorcycling space, it can be very like what you are like high school can be what you are in motorcycling. Like,
That's really sweet. Like it brings out your inner child a little
yeah, like
Oh yeah, it's a
that's
toy.
a great way
It's
to
a
put
toy.
it.
It's
Yeah,
a fun toy.
Like, I mean, in high school, I was. You're gonna be so surprised to hear this, but I was a total dork. Like, I don't know how I wasn't one of the cool kids, but apparently I wasn't. But I'm like in the motorcycling world, I feel like the touring crowd, the like comfy seat, the windshield protection, all the gear all the time. That's like the dorks of the motorcycling world, the dads of the motorcycling space.
I want to be a dad, a motorcycling dad.
Yeah.
All right, biker chicks glorify a dangerous lifestyle. We're talking naked wheelies. We're talking naked stoppies. We're talking cleavage on the highway going 80 miles an hour.
Again, the beautiful dichotomy of the human experience, of the feminine experience. Then there are some gals who, despite popular belief, are like recklessly abandoned adrenaline junkies. Like, I know some biker chicks that will
stunt riders.
rip. Yeah. And yeah, I can be all things.
That's tempting too. I'd like to get a taste of that.
Yeah, I am waiting for that era on
Yeah.
Doodle's channel, the stunt era. And again, like something to challenge the way you think when you're thinking about women. Are biker chicks glorifying a dangerous lifestyle? Or are they just living their life and because they're women, you're imposing all sorts of moral standards onto it, you know? Because dudes do the same thing.
That reminds me, I remember seeing a sign that said, "You never see a motorcycle parked outside of a therapist's office," and I wanted to get that
I ride my
sign.
motorcycle to therapy.
I wanted to get that sign for my therapist because I was like, yo, I see a lot of bikes out here. Because there's nothing wrong with that. And I am a huge proponent of mental health. People have reached out to me on my channel, especially men's mental health. There is still like a ton of stigma around that, which is BS. Get your booty into therapy, ride your motorcycle to
Ride your
therapy.
bike to therapy.
And you can find yourself, guys, I'm talking to you right now. You can find yourself, if you want a tough therapist that isn't going to talk
you
just
can
about your
find
feelings, that exists. Like,
Shout out IFS therapy. Because if you're smart and you're logicized, which you ride a motorcycle, so that's in your brain, it's not just talking about your feelings, it's actually treating your brain like a computer, because it is one. There, I'm plugging IFS therapy.
I think that was good. No, that was good. Hey, Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. It's May of every year.
yes.
It's about men's
Yeah.
mental health.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's an important tie into as well. Like, I just want you guys to know, just because we're talking about biker chicks doesn't mean I'm forgetting about you all.
All right, I remember growing up and seeing lots of McGolden-like cutouts of naked ladies with big boobies on motorcycles, motorcycle car washes. It was sex sells beer era. We were talking about this. We love those. Like we love those.
a good
like,
calendar.
Like the super 80s hair. And it's like just beautiful. Harley sold so many motorcycles in America, and it was a lot of people getting on bikes, and that was great. But it did reinforce a certain stereotype of women, a certain biker chick. And we're talking about this because it's like that's melting away. It took time. Those women are aging now. You know, it's like things are different, and we're not seeing that same like hypersexualization just to sell you a product, which worked and usually works. So I think it's outdated now.
Yeah, it is outdated, and it's outdated, but also like what you're saying, it's beautiful because now it's become this kind of cool vintage cult experience, a small memory. And you say that too about these women are aging up. You know what I love? I love an old woman on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
An old, like tattooed, wrinkly woman. Like that is everything I want to be.
There needs to be way more of them on the road.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we can help with that. That's basically my goal, is like to just be a grandma on a motorcycle.
I think we'll be all riding together because I don't plan on. There was shout out the woman behind me at the airport. She was like, "Man, you make me wish I didn't sell my bike." And I turned around and I was like, "Why'd you sell your bike?"
Get it.
And also, go get another one. What are we?
Do it.
Able-bodied. She was like, "You ever ridden Tail of the Dragon?" I was like, "I just rode it." So she was like, I'm also trying to pump up older ladies to buy their bikes back. Come on. Come on.
Okay, what about this one? Tried and true. Girls aren't strong enough to ride. We're not physically designed to ride.
I mean, I experienced that for a little bit. I mean, I could ride it. I just dropped it a lot more, and I couldn't pick it up.
Right, and
for
you
bit.
got a lot of slack for people being like, well, if you can't ride it, then it's too big for you.
Or you can just find out how to ride it.
Also, how many of you bros out there genuinely can pick up your bike?
Yeah.
Not like, oh yeah, I could pick that up.
Do
Like,
it right
actually
now.
could
Test
pick it up.
yourself. Can you?
Yeah.
Can.
And if you can't, it's okay. But again, why are women held to this different standard that we have to be able to defy the laws of physics?
There
Why
you
do
go.
women have to defy the laws of physics?
Also, the one time I dropped my bike, I ran and got somebody to come help me.
Yeah.
It's like, when are you ever gonna, in the middle of the desert on a ADV bike? Sure, you might be.
You still found somebody though. That
You
one
still-
time you dropped
that
it in the
naked
middle
guy
of
came up and freaked. I was like, where did that guy come from? He has no clothes on or shoes.
Yeah, so he was like mudding. He was out mudding somewhere. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. If I've dropped it the very few rare times, probably twice in my entire life, around people and someone has shown up. And this was long before I even knew how to pick up my Tiger or how to pick up the bagger. This was before I learned, and someone just always showed up. I always tell myself like, well, I'll just be extra cautious if I'm like in the middle of nowhere, if no one's around. And that one time I wasn't extra cautious. I made a U-turn in some pebbly gravel trying to get to that missile bunker. And I was like, there ain't nobody around. And all of a sudden there was. And so kind of going back on that, one unpopular opinion is that you don't need to flat foot a bike You just need to learn a few tricks, and you can watch more about that in this next controversial opinions video right over here.
Yeah, done.